Hello, everyone. Welcome to Women in Web3 podcast that celebrate the inspiring stories of women who are shaping the future of technology. I'm your host, Kenneth Chu, and in each episode, we dive into the world of Web3 and explore the incredible work being done by women in blockchain, metaverse, NFT, and much more. And as someone who's passionate about diversity and inclusion in tech, I created this podcast to showcase the achievement and challenges of women who are making waves in the industry. My goal is to inspire more women to get involved and help to build a world that's more equitable and inclusive for everyone. In this episode of Women in Web3 podcast, I'm so happy to introduce our guest, Krystelle Galano, who is the founder of CryptoFemale Philippines, co-founder of NewsCore, and CMO of Starzz. Krystelle Galano is a shining example of hard work and ambition, inspiring aspiring professionals in the marketing and PR industry. A distinguished Asian woman in the PR and marketing industry, Krystelle has become a respected figure, boasting over a decade of experience. Her expertise encompasses content and community management, digital PR, digital advertising, influencer marketing, and corporate communications. Recognized as one of the top 10 CMOs from Philippines by the CEO Inside Asia, and featured on the cover of Corporate Investment Times, awarded as one of the women in the World Women Leadership Congress. So without further ado, let us welcome Krystelle. Hi, Krystelle. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Good evening to you, and thank you for making time to come onto my podcast. And finally, we get to have this chat over live stream, right? So before we start,
Mhm.
right, like I mentioned to you before, there will be a question of the day posted by the previous guest for you to answer before we can start officially. So are you ready to receive the question of the day posted by the previous guest?
Sure. I am.
Okay, so let me share with you, which is what can women do to help women succeed? Right? I repeat again, the question of the day posted by the previous guest is what can women do to help women succeed? So do you have an
Okay.
answer to it or do you need some time to think about it?
No, I maybe I can answer. Yeah.
Okay, share with
So I
us.
think it's very common when a women asking about how you can also help another women like you, or how you can inspire them to be you as well. So technically, we always hear about empowering. Empowering another women. So how do you do that? You make yourself like a role model and encourage another women, or actually not another women, or at least young entrepreneurs to target for that. You can definitely give them some of your experiences, give them the challenges that you face, and you solve how you solve it, and the opportunities that what we have right now in this industry. So there are a lot of opportunities, big opportunities. The transition of the technology is really fast, but there is like a place for any women here in the industry. Like, you could never know that your skill can be needed by any kind of companies, projects, that you don't even realize that it matters for any kind of projects or companies. So you can definitely help them by inspiring, mentoring, giving them a knowledge, like a basic knowledge at least. So you can have like a path on how you can encourage them to join, or if they have this kind of goal, in tech, or in this blockchain, in Web3. You can tell everything, that how you experience. You can tell your story. You can ask their story as well, and you can inspire them to do what's best for them. So I think
Mm,
that's the idea of that.
that's
Because like
good.
there are many women that I have in my friends, my colleagues as well. They asking me like, how did you reach that kind of level? You can never know what will happen to you. I didn't also realize that I will be part of that top CMOs. I never wanted that. Although it's part of the achievement, but when you do your job really well and you're really passionate to do that, you should go for it. Don't take that, like, grab that opportunity always. And you can ask people, you can communicate with them, you can ask them how you can able to join that industry. You can upskill your skills, like every details of that, you can have this kind of opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. It's like what you have shared is anybody, right, can also inspire another woman, even with your story and maybe with things that you never thought that you can help another women, right, in this space.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for sharing. And now we can officially start with the show. And I believe that there will be a lot of audience that are seeing you for the first time. So maybe Krystelle, will you be able to share a bit about your background? How what were you doing before you got into Web3 and how you got started into Web3?
All right, thanks. So I am Krystelle Galano, and I'm basically from Manila, Philippines. And I graduated as having a study mass communication. And right now, as you've said in my introduction, I am a founder of Crypto Female in the Philippines. Yeah, and co-founder of a PR firm called New School and CMO of Starzz. So, which is probably you guys having a question why so many. So, I started in my career like a social media manager, then a marketing advisor. So, someone asking me to join like a one crypto project, which is I don't even have an idea about crypto that time. So, I was a freelancer as a social media manager, handling all the stuffs like in socials, Facebook, any socials that you know. So I create contents, I design basic images because I don't have enough tools to do that, like really high technology. So there's someone that approached to me that, can you be a marketing advisor? Which is my idea was, why not? I just wanted to claim that opportunity because they're giving a good salary, and I never thought what could happen, or I don't have any idea what will be the next thing, the next phase of my career by then. All I know is that I'm working online, and it is because it really helped me a lot, as I have a family, and I have a husband that works abroad. So I had that kind of idea, like, why not? Maybe I can do something like a better way to earn that my husband won't go anywhere and just be with us, and just earn something like the same, like we can do what he can earn from other countries. So there's this project that taught me that how what is crypto. Then they just asked me to advise something. Well, that's that, for you to have an idea, that's a era of ICOs before 2000, 14, 15, something like that. So there's something like they just wanted to have an idea from me in a marketing perspective. So I said that I can do help with social content, something like that. And then, from time to time, there's a way that there's a chance that I got in mind that, why not I can deep dive, really deep dive into it, like what's really crypto is, what's going on with this industry. Like I only knew there's some remote jobs everywhere, that I know that how I can be onboarded, how can I able to earn from that, an employment or something. So I look into it, and I started to learn things every time that I do have another project that will come. So every project that I involved with, there's a different positions, but still in the marketing. But there's a different positions, like I become a PR manager, I becomes a director of communication. So from time to time, to make it that really quick one, I've learned from every projects, like how I can educate myself from that experience. So, I started as a social media manager. Then they told me that, can you do something like a writing an article or stories, because you write on the content. So I started to think that maybe I can do that, because the content is like a small paragraph or something, two or three paragraphs. Then why not I can do a quite long like a blog post on Medium platform. So I started to take a look at that, and then I connect myself to really amazing people in the industry. I try to look at which person that I would try to connect with and I can learn something from that. And then it gave me an opportunity to enhance my skills, not just into social media. Now I can write articles. Then I attended some events because I'm really interested already. It's not just I'm just earning, that my husband really went here in the Philippines already. I told him that no, you don't need to fly anymore because maybe we can both, learn something from that, and maybe you can also do the same thing that what I'm doing. But like in a year or two, I guess that time, I started to think that why not I can do something like explore more about it. Like maybe I can enhance myself and to be a better me in this in my career. So now that I write articles, there are some conferences that I know before. Then I started to think that why not I can also attend that event to hear something from the experts as well to inspire me more. So I did that, and then I take note of myself every time that I hear something from that conferences. I take note of that. Then there's another opportunity for me as a director of communication. Then I started to build my networks that time. From that time, every experience that I have that opportunity, I explored that kind of skill. If they told me to speak, to be a speaker, even though I don't have any experience from that, then why not? Maybe I can speak from just based on my experience, just be me. And I just can share because we all know, even though that we have in the same industry, we did have we do have the different kind of stories, how we've been here in this industry. So I started from that, and from that time to time in the 10 years of the making, I experienced everything. I explored the scam projects. I know how to um, see the fraud projects. I've learned something from my colleagues, my team, even my other bosses like that. They encourage me to do something more about it. So it started that way, and then I had this kind of opportunity to grow my connections. And then, yeah, from time to time, I do know how to speak, outreach investors, email marketing, because in that time, there's already um, an opportunity to do online. So I start to look online. How can I able to do that? I always research on how I can enhance that skill. How can I able to have it so I can earn something from that? I will be having like more like how can you say increase my salary from that because you have another skill. You do have. Then I started to have this people, friends that I communicate and by networking on that event, and I keep that as my own database. That whenever I started to think that whenever that someone can need on the publishing interview something like that, then I'll contact these persons. That's how I had this kind of compact on how I help other startup companies. So
Mm. Yeah,
so
because from what I'm hearing, like that you're constantly uh, embracing new opportunity,
yeah.
and you are always constantly learning. You're
Hmm.
always being open-minded to learn new things, to accept new
Hmm.
roles, accept new challenges. That is why you are who you are today. Is basically stacking, right? Stacking one by one, and you get higher and higher. And that's where now from a social media expert, and now you are a CMO of all these companies. I think this is something that a lot of female founders or women in Web3 or women in general, right?
Hmm.
They can learn this from you, is to constantly just do it. Just go ahead, learn, do experience it, as you keep on doing it and keep on having this um, like this mindset of learning, I think that would be where you are. So I think now many of the audience, right, will know a bit more about you and how you got into Web3. It's just that because you keep on learning, got curious, and that's why you got into this space. So that also bring me to the next question, and this question, right, is also something that is very close to my heart. I ask every single guest on my podcast this
Okay.
question. And
Mhm.
this question is from me, right? So, why did you accept my invitation to be my guest on Women in Web3 podcast, knowing that it's being hosted by a man,
I think that's the really interesting part when I saw that you were
the
hosting.
host? Yeah.
Yeah, and then the title is a women. So what's kind of interesting, like nobody do that. Nobody had like that kind of idea that I'm a man. Maybe I can just ask women stories. That's really interesting that I got in mind. Like you're giving yourself like an opportunity to others to tell stories like as a woman, but you're a man. But it doesn't. When I started to take a look at that, like I just thought that maybe this guy is a family guy, that maybe he understood a lot in the women's space. So really makes sense that why not that I can join, and I'm really interested. That's why I pushed through that, even that you're really fully booked. I really want to have an opportunity to speak with you. And yeah, when I saw all of your podcasts, that it's something like you're really open to anyone. That's a really great thing, because others that we experience, as we know, there's many women that having a gap between the men and women. So that's why we empower others. So you already bridged that, but by doing interviews, by opening your arms to every women in the space, giving an opportunity, whether it's a successful women or not, you're opening your arms to have that kind of stories to differentiate the stories of success of every woman. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, because your story is very unique. If I remember correctly, you were the one who reached out to me, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, like
It's
Krystelle is
because
really.
I'm really interested. I really something like really interests me to
And I
share.
and I believe that you have done your homework, right? You was like, curious about this guy. Why is this guy championing women? Why is this guy having this podcast, Women in Web3? Why isn't it like,
Yeah, yeah.
why specifically in women, right? Like, why is a
Mhm.
man doing all this? I think you have done a lot of your research and you got curious, and that's why you reached out to me. And like I meant, like you mentioned, right? In fact, season one was already full. Just that along the way, there are some guests that couldn't make it due to some stuff, and immediately I reached out to you. I was even planning. I've already put you on the list for season two, which I never expected that this podcast will even roll into season two. But because of aspiring, very motivated, very proactive women in Web3 like you, that you want to have this opportunity to really share your story to inspire more women. And when we hop on to the Zoom call, right, I felt that you have something that you can bring to the table, something that you can bring onto the podcast to really share and inspire more women.
Yeah,
And
because
also,
none of our the people that knows me, I don't even get to how I personally made it happen, like what I am doing right now. Like when I saw something, I was also scared to share something before. Then it started to think that when I saw some women that interviewing, having a podcast, they really empower and they really inspire me as well. Why not I can share also my story, because it's different. We all have uniqueness of story, and I really want that to share and inspire maybe some other women also experience that, and having discouragement, what they're facing right now. Every people has a um failures, before you can even have that achieve your goal in life, or in your career. So I started to interview, having me, actually I'm the one who's always asking do you have something like a topic that I can really share my story? So it's an opportunity to share, because they don't even know yet. Somehow the other people just know you, like in a person or something, like part of this company, but they don't even know how your story. So it's really great to share something, the uniqueness of a person, not just a woman, but a person, to to, you can never know how you inspire others, that can change their life actually. So
Yeah, I like the part where you say that you realize that my podcast, right? When I basically interview anybody, right, in Web3, whether you are successful, whether you are not
yeah,
successful, or you are just entering into Web3. Why? Because if you realize, a lot of podcasts are just interviewing successful people. We have enough of successful people, because if you're successful, and you not everybody will see success in the same way as you, right?
correct.
And everybody need an inspiring role model, like you mentioned. But if the role model is so high, how would it inspire someone who's just at the very beginning, right?
Hmm.
So they need someone that is over here to inspire them, so that it's achievable.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not of intimidating, it's not demoralizing. And
Hmm.
that's why I say women in Web3. I never say success with successful women in Web3, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of guests, they will be they are surprised that I reach out to them and say, I'm not really successful. It's no, it's like your definition of success, right? In another person's lens is different, right? For me, I see that you have an inspiring story. I want you to share your story, so that you might there might be someone out there might have something similar, might have
Same situation.
same situation. They might be also a mother. They may have kids. They may have a husband that is overseas, like your story. I think these are what I call real stories, right? Like, even you have failed a lot. That is also a very good inspiring story, right? That you are putting out your failures to share with everyone, that do not be like me, right? Do not follow my footsteps, right? And that will cut their learning curve, right? So
Hmm.
that's why for my podcast, it's very important for me to be able to connect with the guests and find the angle. And that also brings us to the topic of this episode, right? Which is how Web3 and remote work are empowering women across the globe.
Hmm.
Because when we were talking on Zoom, right, I realized that you started from from a position which is very common in Philippines, like
Hmm.
virtual assistants,
Yeah.
social media expert, manager. From that, but to where you are today, right? Not many your peers, right, in Philippines, because I know of a lot, like even some community in Philippines, they were trained, they learn how to be virtual assistant, and that's it. They never went past any to where you are today. Not
Hmm.
many of them. Most of them are just at that level. So that's why I feel that like now with Web3 and we talk about remote work, it's empowering women across the globe. So that is where uh, the topic of this episode we want to talk about. And maybe before we go into that, right, how it can empower, right? Maybe you can share with us what are the common challenges that you think women are facing, be it in Web3, be it in working, be it in internet work. What is the common challenges that you think that women are facing in general?
Maybe as a I can share something, because I am a mother. So I think the work life balance the challenge other women. So yeah, there are many freelancers that I went there and I knew how to face that. Literally, it's very different in like you're working on office, because in office, although you you do transportation, you do need to um, suit something for yourself to be like in a very professional way, and something like they're really telling me that, oh, it's nice that you have this kind of freelance job at home, but yeah, it is, but it's somehow we still face challenges from that. The balance between me as a mother and as a worker, or as a woman that working in this industry. So you need to have that kind of balance, because you take time to work. You commit that to the company that you're working for, and you also need to commit to your family as well, of course. So there are many women out there that trying to realize that, and how they can face that. Maybe that's a reason also that they don't want to explore more. They're just okay with what they are doing right now. So like balancing work and personal life like can be really really challenging to women in Web3. So especially if that workplace expectations, cultures do not support flexible working arrangements, as you know. So in office you need to work as 8 hours or something more. You need to have overtime, but here it's flexible though. It's also flexible being a normal person and an employee, or a CEO or something, what your role is. So but the demand for continuous learning and adoption the rapidly evolving technology right now um, can exacerbate these challenges. To face that. So even though that you're facing some kind of that challenges, you need to have that balance. As you see, you've mentioned that I work in three companies, although the other one is an organization which is the Crypto Female. I help a lot of women I help them to encourage, to mentor them at least in offline events. I need time for that. And as a co-founder of the news call, I also need time for it. In a day we only have 24 hours, and I also have another company as a CMO, which is really crucial role as a marketer. So they're telling me, how can you able to handle that? I'm facing challenges, literally. I have kids that I need to take there to the schools. I have also a 2 years old daughter. So even though I somehow having a thought that how I face that kind of challenges. But every day I always have this organized all of that roles. I have that balance. I prioritize it like for a day. I knew how the workflow as a mother. Then after that, when I'm done, I'm always focusing after for my work. So something like that. And believe me or not, somehow like in a day I just sleep like 2 to 4 hours. So maybe this is why right now we empower a lot of women, because this is how women work. It's not that I'm having something with other, or a man or something. But we as a women, we put more passion to what we are doing, even though it's personal or not. And we always have this kind of overthinker, that how can I able to fix these problems. There's something like that, that we need to fix it, we need to solve it if it's really needed in a day. So I work like that way, even though that some of my colleagues, they even ask me that, do you still sleep? Yeah, but I always having a day, at least like a Sunday, to myself and to my family. Like a healthy mind can, you know in a mental health, you still need to have that. You free your mind before you again work yourself really in a long week, because it helps you to refresh your mind, to help others again, to create another ideas. So the work life balance, and this kind of challenges. And also one that I notice is I think the lack of role models. The visible female role models are really, maybe you can count on somehow. They're not really there are not many female that having this kind of a role model to inspire others. So we encourage that. Actually, in Crypto Female, they taught me something, that I need to be me. I wanted that to happen, even if you take a look on my previous profile, I really want to have some project that I will be the leader. I will be the role model of that. And it's not just a being a founder, but I want to lead that. I want to have them, not to be a bossy on something, because I'm not that kind of person. I just wanted to lead them and inspire them on how you can face these things. Maybe I experienced that as well, or maybe I have a different idea how I can approach that problem. So having a role model is like it's crucial for inspiration, mentorship, and breaking down gender related barriers. So here I am really thankful that in Crypto Female that they give me an opportunity to be a founder. Now I stand as a founder and a leader. Now I want to make it happen. Others, to attract them, to mentor them, to to empower them, that there you need to be something that maybe we need that in this industry. So being that kind of role model, it gives you that kind of success. That's what I wanted to be like, not in successful in that you can buy this kind of houses, you can buy luxury. I don't want that. Other people that knows about me, they usually told me that a very humble person, because they never knew that I was awarded something like this. I never had that kind of like in myself. Yeah, it is an achievement, but it's something that I am not yet satisfied that I can call myself as an successful woman, because I do have a different approach of my goal. I want to be a leader. I want to be an inspiration of others. That what I experienced before. That I don't have any other people that advising me. There's no one advising me from the day one that I've been here in the industry. I just pursue that dream and explore that opportunity, and I want to achieve that goal. I want to be an inspiring person or women in other women that having discouragement of this self. It doesn't matter if you're a mother or a single mother. You can do everything. You can be anything that you want it to be, as long as you don't trash people something. It's not
Yeah.
something like that to lead or to inspire, even though that you're really that's why you told me earlier that you wanted to speak with in the mid level, not all the successful women because they're really high on some. I'm also in that part. I don't want to tell me that, hey, you're really successful right now, and how do you, I don't want that. I want to hear from them that like congratulating me that I did a really good at least like kind of this interview and podcast, that I never thought that I can do the same thing that what you did. That kind of idea that maybe other people are also just waiting for a person like me to encourage them to do something what I have experienced. Even my sister, she is an introvert in Gen Z generation. So she is not really talkative as me. The confident is not also the same as me. But I'm encouraging her to at least join me to be at that event, be on my side. Then I will speak to them, then just making an introduction on what you do, what you can do. Then now she's part of a project, and she's actually really doing well. And
Good to hear
from,
that.
from the yeah from that day, she can speak with other people because she's an introvert person.
Mm,
So right now, when I saw her like yesterday, she was speaking to many people,
mm,
sharing her story,
yeah.
how interested she is in this
Mm,
industry,
mm,
questioning that other people that really interested. So I am really like having that as success already,
mm. Yeah.
because I inspire one of
Yeah,
my
you inspire, you influence another person to take action, to believe in themselves, and
yes.
I think this is something that you deserve it, right? And if you are successful, you are making it, you are changing your family's life. Other, you can inspire other people to do the same. Like I think you mentioned, right, that now and in your family you are able to hold your family together.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband do not need to travel because you are making a living. You're changing your family's life, and people outside, people around you, your friends, your peers, or even your other family members, they saw what you have done, and they will be curious, like, what have Krystelle done, right?
Yeah.
That I've not done, and why is Krystelle in a better place, able to have a better lifestyle, be able to support your children with a better living, right? So I think these are things that you should own it. This is why also the reason why I started this podcast is to really let all these guests own what they have and really be proud of it to share with people, but coming from a space of love, compassion, and empathy. Because for you, like you mentioned, right, the first thing is lack of role models. And that is also the reason why I started this podcast, because I'm not seeing any women in Web3 being spotlighted, not talking about women guests or women hosts spotlighting women in Web3. I'm not seeing that, right? And even they invite guests, right? They're talking about problems, right?
Mm, yeah.
About things, but they are not talking about or focusing. The spotlight is not focusing on the story of all these individual successful women in Web3, right? Be it in any way, because like your success, the definition of your success is different for another women, right? Your success is you can bring your family together, you can give your children a better upbringing, better background, better lifestyle, whatever they want, you can support them in education, in living, in environment, and even helping your husband to get to do something even more meaningful, right? Which instead of working in a job that you're not happy about it, or even for yourself, right, as a woman. And then going back to the work-life balance, which is what I see that a lot of women are also struggling, that especially mothers, and you talk about single mom and all that. But I think what you have shared, right, is that the lack of role models is one, but for you, you are what I see as the trailblazers, right? You are opening up this path for other women to see, hey, it's possible for women to thrive in Web3, in tech, in marketing. Yeah, we should not have this limiting belief, all these little voices that, oh, I'm not worthy, I cannot be a CMO, I'm not educated, and all that stuff, right? Stop all these little voices and take it out, right? And you was like them before, and but you take away all these things, you start learning, you start to focus on your personal development, and that's where you are today, being CMO, being founder, inspiring other people, influencing even your sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And just now you mentioned about, although your sister is introvert, but now she can talk to people, she's with passion, right? Because when you are loving what you are doing and doing what you love, you can, like for my case, why I enjoyed running this podcast, because it keep me passionate, right?
Yeah.
It keep me on the momentum to inspire. Although you're inspired by me, you inspire me at the same time, and that every guest inspire me. Like now in this episode is episode 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
I even more excited for season 2. Another 20 episode will come. Another 20 amazing women in Web3 that keep me inspired, keep me passionate, and with this passion, it can go very long. Even like I was telling you that I was outside, I make the way back. I have not changed. I'm not bathed. But I'm now on the podcast because I'm committed, right? I'm passionate, right? I'm passionate about your story. I'm passionate about sharing all the inspiring, breaking your limits, believing in yourself, and all that stuff. So this is why I think you speak for a lot of people out there. Speak for the women in Philippines also, that you can do more than what you think you are. You are bigger than who who you think you are, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
You can do that, and that also And just now when you talk about work life balance, you also had gave us the, what do you call that, the solution, right? How to overcome it, which is very important. You talk about time management, right? How you manage your time. This is something, this is a skill set. That's why you can do so many things, right? You can be a CMO, you can be a founder of the crypto female, is it? Crypto
Yeah,
female, yeah,
crypto.
crypto female, and also with another CMO for another company, right? So that's why you can do all this role, and it requires you time, right? So, but you have mastered and learned how to manage your time, prioritize that. And also you talk about like you only sleep 2 to 3 hours. For me, around the same, right? And
Mhm.
why? Because we are so looking forward to the next day, right?
Exactly.
That's why we can't wait to wake up, but we need rest. And you talk about having Sunday off, like for me, the same thing. Sunday is 100% break,
Oh,
rest, recharge, and then Monday. And some of my my mentee was saying, Kenneth, how did you stay what you call it, so passionate, your energy and all that? I think because I'm excited for every single day. I'm not working for people, I'm working for myself, and I'm working for people that inspire me, right? So even it does not pay me, it keep me going, right? It keep me going, be it for my life, be it for my business, be it for whatever project I'm going on, whatever, even for the female founders competition which recently have just ended. That is my new project. I'm excited. I even met up with one of the female founder that was one of the finalists. That she came to Singapore. I met up with her. Then we have a good catch up. I even have a lot of plans for next year, 2024. Right. So I think for us, right, it's really clear that with passion, you are loving what you are doing, you will find ways to make it happen. Right.
and you're enjoying it. It's really important to enjoy what you're doing because it's something like you're really passionate. You're really, maybe it's something like you giving you something like it is because it's your responsible. You need to enjoy as well because you're learning things from another. You heard some other experiences that maybe can you can adopt it and make something really new for yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's where, right. Just now we talk about how Web3 and remote work can empower women globally. So, for example, like for your case, right, um,
Mhm.
I think you shared before, like working in Philippines, right, in the normal job, right, because
Mhm.
of the transportation, the commuting, and even for you to feed the family, right, it's quite challenging for most people. But when you discover that you can work at home, you can earn in USD, you can you can manage your family, you can
Mhm.
be at home taking care of your children, at the same time make a living, uh, bring back bring back USD, which will convert a better lifestyle for your family members, right? And which is like the eye opening for you. That's why remote work is something that people should look at it, right? And with remote work, it helped us with work-life balance. We saw it during COVID. A lot of people who used to go to office, they are now doing remote. They have 1 hour spare time, and a lot of
Mhm.
them are using this 1 hour to exercise, or even 1 hour to spend more time with their children, or 1 hour to sleep, right? To have a bit of sleep, right? Uh, so I think that remote work, right, is the future of work. And because now all of us are connected, even this podcast is running on internet. So as long as you know there's a better way, remote work, and now with Web3. So how can Web3 and remote work empower women globally? Can you share with us?
Yeah, sure. So it's different, like what you've said. So in Web3 industry, so in our rapidly evolving world, the convergence of this technology, like empowerment, has become a force that breaks barriers and creates a lot of opportunities and for these diverse voices to be heard. So today, I think I can share something like in Web3 often associated with blockchain technology, of course. And the transition of the technology right now is really, really fast. So before you just do as a freelancer, as I have an experience, You just do something like a remote job, but still you need to go to bank, like for what you've said in financial inclusion. For that, you need to go to bank still, you need to go to the ATM machine to get your salaries. But in Web3 right now, you can have this kind of owning that opportunity, that you can no longer go there, just accept your salaries through online. Even the banks also do the same thing, like online bankings here in the Philippines. So from that finance to education, Web3 is dismantling traditional barriers. Like we find its potential to empower women. One significant impact for that in Web3, the role of promoting the financial inclusion, what I've said. Like through blockchain, of course, if we heard about Web3, we know it's a context of, or having that blockchain and crypto is also included. So women worldwide are gaining access to financial services, enabling them to actively participate in global economy, like financial independence, for catalyst for a broader empowerment. So blockchains, of course, and the transparency and immutability are the key elements that contribute for creating a fair systems. So empowering women also involves providing them with the tools for success. As we know, we have this kind of experiences before. Remote work facilitated, with digital technologies, introduces the level of flexibility, like time management, that's particularly beneficial for women balancing the work and family responsibilities, as we discussed. So this flexibility as a powerful tool in breaking down traditional barriers, that have, like, for too long limited women's participation in the workforce. So moreover, like, we can encourage them, like for example here in the Crypto Female, we do online events, not or online education for other women that really interested in Web3, in crypto and blockchain. Even though that they already have this kind of idea, but we take a look on more topics behind it for them to fully understand the diverse technology, what's happening. So always encourage them by step on how they can learn something from you. It, mix that with an experience on how you able to do it, how did you did that from the time that you're just starting. So make yourself like in her shoes, or something, like you can tell her how did you find a way to explore in the Web3 industry. So by mentoring, inspiring, sharing your stories the same way. So there are many opportunities that we know that can Web3 can give. It's not just about in marketing, also in tech. There are many women in tech that I know that really inspired me to also learn something from in that industry, because I was in the marketing side, but I do not really know how to handle in tech side. So there are many opportunities, to support that kind of community, to inspire them. And as we navigate this like a transformative landscape, we must acknowledge the challenges that persist. So in maybe I can say the synergy of Web3 and remote work has the power to revolutionize how we empower other women. We need to encourage them on how you made that possible. So how can they open their eyes to the opportunity that's waiting for them? Even though you know that you cannot learn something in crypto in schools, but there are many online sessions, online education that can give you a knowledge to it. So that's the idea, and that's the great things of what Web3 provide, other people, or in many people, not just women. So we encourage them to have online courses. Like before, you need to go to some places that you need to learn from that. even me, I don't even I studied this in a communication, but yet I learned something here in this industry for the last years that I'm working. I learned how to be able to organize things, to be able to publish on some sites that I never even know that I can do that. Like I can publish on higher sites that only people, well-known people that knows that, something like, for example, in Cointelegraph, we can contribute that. Before, I don't even know that I can do that. I'll be on that kind of part that I can do it. So it is because that I'm inspired. I can see other people. I can see other women that, yeah, we are in the same path before. Now she can do that. Then why maybe I can explore something for me
Yeah,
that maybe
being
I can be
curious, right?
also. Yeah, the curiosity is there, and you need to really have something like one goal for you to achieve, like what you really want to do, because
Mm,
even though that you're many, or you're a very skilled person, but you need to do something like you really really want to do,
mm,
and
mm,
be that person to inspire others that maybe they can never knew. So we have a lot of women in the Web3, as you have said. You have many episodes that other women shares this
mm.
kind of stories, but it differentiate on how you um, inspire others in different manners, in the tech side, in financial inclusion, in marketing side. So there are many, like, as let's just ensure that that these technologies have the benefit of all, so that every woman has the opportunity to thrive. So let's keep doing what we're doing. Believe in yourself is what I could say. So
Yeah,
you can never know what will happen, because it really turns out to be like me, from a social media manager to what I am right now.
yeah.
Still, I'm not really satisfied though, but yeah, it's really far enough of what I cannot really imagine before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Web3
It
just
basically
really,
your life has transformed. Your life is never the same again, but better, and that's why now you want to give back, right? You want to pay it forward. You want to
yes.
inspire someone who was like you, being inspired by someone that you were inspired, right? And
Actually, yeah,
being
it's the
influenced.
same way in the technology. Before that, there's already Facebook, Web2.
Mm,
People never knew that they can, provide this
mm,
Web3.
yeah.
We can never know that there will be another. What
Or
else will
another wave,
we
right?
do,
Another new wave
right?
of
So it's the
opportunity.
same. It's the same thing. That after that, the people that have build this Web3 have that kind of idea. Others also inspire what to do. What might be next? What can they
Mm,
do to be unique, and to do something more new?
yep, yep.
It's the same goes with that technology. So
Mm,
it's the same of also as a women, to empower another women. You just
mm,
need to inspire them, clear your mind,
mm,
have the timeline, or have the time management, and achieve that goal. You just know, don't dream to that. You don't
yeah.
just dream about that kind of idea. Maybe that
Mm,
you think of that, maybe it's something like a small idea, maybe it won't work.
mm, mm,
You
mm.
need to try.
Yeah.
You need to try.
I think the power of Web3, right? I think maybe for those who are new to Web3, why Web3 particularly? Because in Web2 or even Web1 or traditional business, right, women may not have the chance, may not have the access, may not have the opportunity because it's very male dominated and it's all controlled by the big tech company. But
Mhm.
that's where the uniqueness of Web3, right, is the power is given back to the people instead of big tech company, and that's why women can come into tech because the tech is accessible. Blockchain is decentralized, it's accessible, it's online. And you talk about the finance part, right? Because there's a lot of country that may not have access to money to finance, and that's where decentralized finance, which is DeFi, comes in, so that women can get or anyone right around the world that may not have access in the real world. They can have it in the digital world or in the Web3 space where they can receive an income. They can make a living in the Web3 space, because the Web3 space allow the masses and the power go back to the people. And that's why, like you mentioned, right, technology really give everyone that chance, but not everybody can have access to that, right? Remote work, not everybody have remote work. But when Web3 comes in, because now it's still at the infancy stage, that's why, like you mentioned, right, if I were to know Facebook is going to be that big, I would have jumped in 15 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
why we are talking about it now, because now it's like Facebook 15 years ago, but you can have a chance, right? You can have this opportunity to hop on this bandwagon and move together, and you can keep on going because technology now is available for you worldwide on the blockchain, right? So I think this is something that I think we need to highlight to the audience, like why particularly in Web3. So thanks for sharing that how fantastic, how awesome this Web3 can help to empower, and at the same time Web3 is main much of doing work online, right, on the remote work. So having said that, right, I think we talked about a lot about the challenges and how we can overcome it, and how Web3 and remote work can empower the women. So what do you see the role of women in Web3 playing in shaping the future of businesses and society, Krystelle?
I think role it's very crucial for women, to shape the future of Web3. Although we do that kind of voice for them to shape the future, to let them know that women can also shape the future, contributing diverse perspectives, skills, and talents to the rapidly evolving landscape in this decentralized technology. So there are no inherent differences in the capabilities or potential contribution of women and men. Gender diversity brings varied viewpoints and experiences that enrich the development and implementation of Web3 technologies. So, I can say that women, like men, bring diverse perspectives to that development of Web3 technologies. Their unique experiences and insights, contribute to be more comprehensive problem solving, innovative solutions, and yeah, that's what a women I think that what men can do more in the women's side, because we are like, somehow they said that they were a problem solver. So women can contribute to the development of more inclusive, user friendly Web3 applications. So considering that a diverse user base during the design and implementation phases helps create technologies that cater to a broad range of needs and preferences. So another thing is that in community build, women often excel in community building,
Yep.
fostering collaborations. Their skills in communication, or our skills in communication and relationship building, contribute to creating inclusive, supportive communities within the Web3 space.
Yep.
So we always do some communication, even men or women that we talk to. So another thing is that ethical consideration. So women alongside men play a crucial role in shaping that ethical considerations and values embedded in Web3 technologies. So a diverse group of decision makers help ensure that ethical standards consider a wide array of perspectives and potential impacts on different communities. So maybe I can say, like, while women and men can contribute equally to the development of this industry in Web3, it's important to address existing barriers that might affect other women or women in such biases, stereotypes, and limited access to opportunities. So creating an inclusive and supportive environment that values diversity and actively promotes that in participation of women or young entrepreneurs, or even you're not a woman, all gender, is crucial for realizing the full potential of the Web3 space. Like giving efforts to recognize and eliminate gender disparities, will lead a more equitable and innovative future for the technology industry as a whole. So that's what we do also. That's why I joined the Crypto Female, because they do that. Not just it is because Crypto Female, we focus on females, but we also open to all genders,
Yep.
young entrepreneurs that really open to
Mm-mm.
or really ready to gain the knowledge in this space. So
Mm.
there are many things that you need to learn, but
Mm.
you need to take that as a stepping stone for you in this journey and
Mm.
make that experience and embrace that experience, because that's what you can learn from it.
Yeah, I like the part when you talk about like what women can play right in the role, because in the past, right, before Web3 and in the traditional business, in traditional scene, the society, man is always having the say, right?
Mhm.
Man is always the creator of like machineries, the car, the engineering part, even creating the safety belt. It was created like that because back then only men drive, right? But now we have women who learn driving. So safety belt like that was designed for men, but was not designed for women. And that's why women like my wife don't like to have the safety belt cutting
No,
across.
same.
Yeah. So that's why this innovation, right, was created so many years ago, decades ago, and it's not working now because women are now being empowered to drive, right? That's why if back then if women was given the chance to invent the safety belt, they will not design it like that across the chest, right? They'll be designing it like that, like the F1, right? Like really in that manner, right? So
Mhm.
that's why I think now with Web3 it allows women to contribute in, because it's a part of creation, right? The Web3 economy is also a creator economy. It focus back into the creator, it focus on the diversity, and like you mentioned, women are very good at communication, at community building, and bring everyone together. But if let's say you have a man to really curate the conversation, it may be one-sided. But for women, women like to be heard, like to make sure everybody is heard. I think that's where the diversity and inclusion, right, having women to bring all that together is very important, because women have that skill set where most men will not have, right? That's why if in the past, right, we are solving only half the population problem, and we have another big half that is not being solved. This is the where women comes in, because if you realize in today's world, right, a lot of the world problem is created by one side of the story, right? One
Mhm.
gender. That's why we need the other agenda to come in to balance it, right? And that's why we are seeing more and more female CEO, female president, female prime minister, female leaders stepping up to balance the whole maybe governance in the company, having diverse and being having everyone being heard from top to bottom. I think this is where women come in to contribute. Even women recently come in as a CTO, right? Recently, we saw the news about OpenAI. The
Mhm.
CTO have been taken over as interim CEO, and she's the CTO, right? She's with the backup with the knowledge and all that stuff. But having said that, right, we need to have more representation, more women representation in tech, in Web3, in all parts of the industry, so that everybody can have a voice. I think this is where I think the role of women can play. Hearing from you, you talk about the diverse, the voice, the perspective, and not just women of a certain age group. Like women could be the Gen Z, could be the millennials, including everyone, and including even the elderly to come in, right? So we need to hear from all voices, different perspective. I think this is where our women can play in the role. So thanks for sharing so much, and maybe you can share with the audience, right? How can they get connected with you?
Okay, so I have in LinkedIn the same name, Krystelle Galano, and on Twitter at Krystelle Galano.
Yeah.
So, and also in Facebook, it's same and Krystelle, but yeah, in the middle name, Gasconia Galano. So you can
Mm.
find me there, and maybe you can be the easiest way. Just Google my name.
Yeah. So for those who want to get connected with Krystelle, you can look at the ticker below that's scrolling. If not, you can go to this post and click on the link that's connected will connect you to her, and you can ask her any question, get connected with her to see what she's doing, support her. And if you need anything, you can always reach out to her through DMs. So once again, thanks, Krystelle, for sharing all your fantastic insight about how Web3 and remote work are empowering women across the globe. So now it's your turn, right, for you to post the question of the day out to the next guest, right? So what will be your question of the day, Krystelle?
Maybe I want to ask if you could redesign a key aspect of the Web3 ecosystem to prioritize inclusivity. Let's say inclusivity. What it be and why?
Wow, that's a very long question. Okay, so maybe we can try to rephrase. So if you could redesign the
A
Web3,
key aspect of Web3 ecosystem to prioritize inclusivity. Inclusivity.
okay,
What it be and why?
wow, okay, I'm trying to see how it can be rephrased. So if you could redesign the Web3's inclusivity, is,
Yeah.
is that the part that you want to focus on?
If you want to redesign a key aspect of the Web3
Or the key
ecosystem,
aspect? Okay,
yeah,
if you could redesign the Web3 key
aspect, yeah,
aspect
to prioritize,
to prioritize, what would it be? Is it?
yeah.
Okay, prioritize. What would it be? Okay, so let me just put it out. Let's see if it's okay. So okay, if you could redesign the Web3 key aspect to prioritize, what would it be? Is that the question?
Yeah, actually, to prioritize inclusivity.
Okay, so you want to prioritize, you want to redesign
Yeah, the
aspect to to prioritize
inclusivity.
inclusivity.
Yeah,
What would it be? Okay, that's a very interesting
and why?
question. Okay,
Sorry, I was just really curious about it.
okay, inclusivity. What would it be and why, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that this is a very tough question, I would say. Yeah, so some deep thoughts to think about it. So, okay, once again, this question of the day is posted by Krystelle to the next guest, which is if you could redesign the Web3 key aspect to prioritize the inclusivity, what would it be and why? All right. So this question of the day goes out to the next guest, and next guest, get ready to answer this question of the day. So last but not least, thank you, Krystelle, for sharing your insights and a lot of
Thank
golden
you.
nuggets. I hope that our listeners, the viewers, will be able to get a lot of insights from you. And if you guys have any question, you can always post in the chat. In the comments and share with us. So last but not least, thank you very much, Krystelle, for making time, and thanks for those who are tuning in to now. I shall see you guys in the next episode. Thank you,
Thank
Krystelle.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much.
everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.